Hello, Cosmic Soul family. Ella Ivy here with Livzenastrology. And I'm here to present Jupiter in Cancer through the houses and through the signs. So we're going to put your sign on the ascendant, and we're going to look to see where Jupiter in Cancer is going to be affecting your chart or how it could be playing itself out. If you guys are new to the channel, thank you so much for being here. This is a 30-day cosmic exploration of astrology. And so what I wanted to do today was, because today is June 9th, 2025. So if you look at the numerology, it's 6-9, right? The 6-month, ninth day, which if you look at the symbol of Cancer, the 6 and the 9, right, comes together in union. It's a divine union. And what? With Jupiter, it's about expansion. So we're going to be breaking down, what does Jupiter mean? And we're going to be looking at this transit of Jupiter and Cancer in the houses with your ascendant on the house cusp. So this is going to be an astrological journey. Again, there is going to be some astrology language spoken here. So if you're into astrology or you're wanting to learn more about astrology and how we speak the language and how this particular transit could be affecting you for the next 12 months, because Jupiter travels through a particular sign for 12 months. And so it's going to be in Cancer from June of 2025 to June of 2026. And I'm also called to also, for those that are on this particular webinar, it's not just about education, which is great. There's so many resources now of where you can learn astrology and, what these concepts or these astrological configurations can mean. But this particular channel tends to be more intuitive, more metaphysical. It's an esoteric journey into the cosmology of yourself. Because if you follow Livzenastrology, we come from the maxim that all is self. So anything that's outside of you that's being projected into form, into the material matter form, is actually something that's going on deeply within you. And so I like to look at collective energies, meaning that's happening for all of us, right? The whole collective of us. And then the individual based on your ascendant to your rising, because that just points a little more, gives it a little more focus for you as individuals based on your each individual sign. And I would also encourage you to look at your sun, moon, and rising in Venus as well, with the ascendant as Jupiter is transiting through Cancer, because Jupiter in modern astrology likes to be in Cancer, right? So it's our good luck planet. Jupiter is about expansion. It's about, I think of it, some people call it the Santa Claus of astrology. It's right, your benefactor, your good luck planet, your guardian angel, if you will, that rides shotgun. And in Cancer, the sign of home, family, security, emotional connection. It's ruled by the moon. Jupiter likes to be in Cancer, right? It feels at home in Cancer. It feels it's what's called exalted, right? So it really likes to expand your sense of security, right? Because Jupiter is the benefic, or is a benefic planet. I mean, it's again benefactor. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to transit through the signs. We're going to look through, see how maybe Jupiter can be connecting in Cancer to your particular sign based on your ascendant. So you want to pay attention to that. And then I'm also being called to pull a card for each sign. It is like an added bonus energy value to how Jupiter could be showing up for you in matters of expansion, home, family, security. Again, these are things that represent Cancer and or Jupiter in Cancer, and how that's going to be impacting you over this next 12-month cycle. So let's go ahead and take a look at the astrology. I'm going to screen share, and I'm hoping to screen share with the astrology on the top and me on the bottom. And I've been playing, let me see here. I've been playing with the energy of, let's see, here we go, do this. And we're going to go ahead and look at this. So this is the energy today, June 9th. You can see here, 2025. And I'm starting off with the ascendant being in Virgo. This is the ascendant of Virgo because I'm using what's called the porphyry house. You can see here, oh, it says whole sign. I want to do porphyry. Let me just change that here because I want to There we go. We're going to calculate that. There we go. And then, so every 2 hours, the ascendant changes. So just let me show you on this. I would change the sign, or I would change the time, right? To go, let's say, to 3 o'clock, and then, or 3 o'clock. And then it's going to change. You can see that into Libra. So that's how the symbols move on the ascendant. We're going to look at this real time because I want you to see what astrologers who are practicing astrology, the programs we utilize. I'm using Astro Gold. It's my particular program that I like to work with, that I'm familiar with. And so we're going to be looking at, again, where Jupiter is going to be transiting. Now, for those of you who are looking at the sign of Jupiter and want to know the symbol, this is Jupiter here. And so, and if you want a free PDF on where Jupiter is transiting, or just the symbology of astrology, because everything in astrology is about symbols. The symbols mean something, not just individual words. There are verbs that are assigned to each sign, each symbol. And so if you want to know more about what these symbols mean, I created a PDF that'd be free to use. You just reach out to me, livzenastrology@gmail.com, and I'd love to send you that ebook and a free copy of your birth chart that looks just like this, so you can kind of get, again, more familiar with your own zodiacal wheel and how these aspects might be coming up to affect you, right? So just go ahead and take a breath, and I'm going to take a sip of my kombucha. We can see that, excuse me, the moon just entered into Sagittarius, and we're about to have a full moon, which is going to be, excuse me, opposite of Jupiter. We're at the last energetic degree here of Jupiter and Gemini. So it's finishing its transit in Gemini. It's been in Gemini for the last 12 months. And now, again, it's ingressing into Cancer. We can look here at the minutes. Let's just go ahead, maybe look at the hours. This is how I can change the time when I'm looking at the progressed. So there we go. Let me go back. So you can see here, it's going to be conjunct Mercury. So we're going to be thinking about matters of what? Here's that symbol for Cancer, of home security, ancestral roots. It's ruled by the 4th house. It's also ruled by the moon. So the moon right now, we can know, is in Sagittarius. So this is about expanding. Expanding what? Expanding matters of the home, the family, our sense of security, our family values, how that shows up for us, and how that can be presenting itself with the energetics, and for the next year, what that focus could be on for you. And so we're going to go ahead and start, since we already have, we're going to just start right now with the ascendant in Scorpio. So for those of you with sun, moon, rising, or Venus in Scorpio, this is how Jupiter in Cancer could be playing out for you. It's actually going to be trining your energy. So you can see here, anytime the water is, waters are in trine together, that means there's a harmonious aspect. So for you Scorpios, this next 12 months, you can see that Jupiter is going to be transiting into your 8th house, which is the house of sex, death, and taxes, how we share resources with others, how we share money, time, values. It also rules inheritance and taxes. And again, sacred unions. So for you, Scorpio, this next 12-month cycle with Jupiter being in Cancer, family matters and perhaps inheritance matters could be showing up for you. How you share your resources, how you share your time, your money. Again, this is a relationship. 8th house are things that are hidden. These are also deeply psychic gifts. Scorpio rules the 8th house, which is ruled by Pluto. And we know that Pluto right here is the planet of transformation. It's in Aquarius, and it'll be transiting, your 3rd house. So it's about communities and groups. Again, I'm seeing too, for those of you who have your friendship group as your family, that could be the focus, right? Community building. Again, how you derive your sense of security is deeply embedded into perhaps some family healing, some trauma that might be brought up, because Cancer is also very emotional. So this could be emotional ties to the field of again, things that are hidden. There might have been some family secrets that are brought up to light because Jupiter expands everything. And again, Cancer is family. In the eighth house are things that are hidden. So there might even be some like I'm seeing too for you guys, Scorpios, some hidden money that you didn't know you had, some hidden inheritances that come out of the blue, right? Because Jupiter's your benefactor. It wants to take care of you and support you. And right now with this ingress, as it's moving, right, it's bringing its forward momentum right next to with next to Mercury, how we think. You could pay attention to your thought process around money, home matters. Either you're going to be maybe doing some construction or deconstruction in your home. Also, because it rules the fourth house, ancestral. I'm seeing trauma that could be up for healing, but also ancestral gifts, right? Because our ancestors didn't just leave us trauma and all this negative stuff. They actually left us gifts that, again, inheritance, because that's all in eighth house matters. So the focus of this particular 12-month cycle could be, what did you inherit from your ancestral roots? Jupiter's going to be expanding your emotions. Again, it's going to be expanding your financial security, issues of security. And I'm even seeing too with Cancer, and this has also been sort of my evolution with this energy, because I also have Scorpio predominantly in my chart. How can you feel that sense of security no matter how much money's in the bank, right? Because we know that our financial system is changing. This is also Venus and Taurus right now. Things are shifting. There's healing matters happening within financial dynamics. So how can you attain security without having to put a number on the bank account, right? And because of that, because you decide to let go and say, you know what, I'm going to just for today, I'm going to feel secure. I'm going to feel supported by the universe. I'm going to feel supported by Jupiter in this transient energy. And I just know, I know that life is happening for me. And watch how your thoughts magically, because eighth house is also magic, right? Things that are hidden, unseen, that gifts could be coming online for you. I'm even seeing psychic gifts, right? If you can start managing your emotional nature, because you're going to be expanded, you might also, because Cancer is also deeply psychic. It's the first water sign in the zodiacal wheel, and water is about emotion. So you might be getting activated for new beginnings in your psychic abilities, right? And Jupiter's going to be expanding you, which could also lead to family trauma healing, right? Being able to see your ancestors and things that happened to you in early childhood in a new way, in a healing, benevolent way, where you can actually use the medicine of forgiveness to help you with this transit, right? To help you with family matters and senses of security. And so for Scorpio, I'm going to go ahead and pull again from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. I'm going to quit screen sharing here because I'm going to pull this card for you. And I want to, again, if you guys are here, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you sharing your time and space and energy with me. And this energy, again, I'm pulling from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. And so for the next 12-month cycle for you, Scorpio, there's going to be one added Oracle wisdom card for Scorpio. What do you need to know for this transit of Jupiter and Cancer? How can that support you? How can that help you? What do you need to know? Okay, whale song resonating. So this is the card here, 61, which is 7. So you can see it's blue. Again, Jupiter, Cancer's water. So keeping water next to you, maybe keeping like a fountain. This is not just for Scorpio, for all signs, but especially you, Scorpio, being around water energy, because you're going to go deep. I call it swimming with the whales, right? That you go deep into your own personal psyche, and the psyche of your family, right? Again, looking at inheritances, where you inherited, well, your belief, because Jupiter is all about beliefs. What do you believe to be true? It's also higher education, right? It's travel, it's expansion. And so whales, we know, is one of the largest animals in the oceans, and of course ruled by Jupiter, right? So it's big. So you might be traveling with the whales, going really deep in your psyche. It's also, if you take the numerology, 6 + 1 is 7, which is also Neptune ruled. And Sagittarius is co-ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. So those are both highly spiritual aspects and planets. So for those Scorpios that are ready to go deep and do some inner child healing, some ancestral wound healing. You're going to be supported and expanded through connecting to your emotional body. And the great thing about the whale medicine here, resonance or resonating, it's also asking you to find your tribe, right? Finding those family members that may not be blood related, but share your same values, your same sense of security, right? Find other dolphins pods to travel with as you are exploring your deep inner realms, your deep inner world. Because Scorpio is going to require you to go deep. And with Jupiter in Cancer, it's saying it's okay. I even see like a protective bubble. You're protected. Remember, Jupiter is your protection planet. So it's okay to go deep. It's okay to heal the wounds of the ancestors. They're ready. They're supporting you. You're getting help, cosmic energy help to go deep. And I see, I'm hearing too with Scorpio is they go where others fear to tread, right? So, and they're mysterious too, right? Because if you look at the migration of whales, scientists don't know exactly where whales go to migrate. So this is going into the deep mysteries of you. But again, you're being protected. You have life support around you, Scorpio, to help you go deep and to heal these ancestral wounds for once and for all. 7 generations forward, 7 generations back. And again, that's 7 because 6 and 1 is 7. So that's the energy that wanted to come up for you. So I feel complete in that transmission. So let's go ahead and screen share to the next zodiacal sign that wants to be looked at. Excuse me. I'm taking this again. This is live, step by step. Excuse me. So we're going to be transiting how I'm changing this now. This is Scorpio on the ascendant. I open and edit the chart, and I actually change the time because it 5, 6, 7, because the ascendant changes signs every 2.5 hours, or 2 hours rather. So you can see here with Sagittarius ascendant, this is where Sagittarius is going to be for you guys. Here's Jupiter in Cancer. It's going to be in the 7th house. You can see it almost goes backwards in a way. For you, Jupiter, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, the intention is for you to receive the messages for you, Sagittarius. And you can see that Jupiter is actually going to be ingressing and going into your 7th house of relationships, partnerships. And so you're going to be expanded this 12-month cycle, Sagittarius, by your personal relationships, right? So you might be invited to expand your family groups. And again, I'm seeing like your friends or your family, right? So even going to different homes, I'm even seeing, for some of you, this might not resonate with everybody, but for some of you on this that's watching this either live or on the replay, you might decide you want to go traveling to different types of home. This might be exploring where you want to live. You might be, changing locations as you start expanding your friendship or your group partnership. And for some of you, that might mean, stepping into new partnerships, which may require you to expand where you travel, right? I'm seeing going to different people's homes. And again, for some of you that are also looking, because, Mercury is also highlighted right now during this ingress, you're thinking about home matters. Where do you want to live? Where do you feel secure? I would also invite you to look at your astrocartography if those are interested in that. I offer that as well. Livzenastrology, we look at the location, right? Where do you feel most at home? You want to look at your moon sign and your sun, where you want to shine, right? So interpersonal relationships, all types of relationships are going to be the focus this 12-month cycle, Jupiter and or Sagittarius rather. And Jupiter is your ruling sign. It's your benefic. So the more that you, again, going into these matters of security, if you can just stay in that spirit of I know that the universe is happening for me, that the things, even if they seem hard, even if there's conflict within relationships, that's actually bettering my ability to be in relationship, right? Because sometimes peace is only found on the other side of conflict. So I'm seeing, even if you do have, because Cancer can be moody, right? So people's mood swings, right? And so you tend to, Sagittarius, if you can, hold on to your happy-go-lucky nature. And I'm thinking also too of the book, The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and one of the principles, the 4 Agreements, and he's got a whole series, I think the 5th Agreement and 6th Agreement. You can go check him out. Beautiful way shower. He comes from the Toltec wisdom keepers. And one of the guides he says is not to take things personally. So for you, Sagittarius, I feel like you don't you don't take things personally anyway. I feel like you just kind of, you know, go along life and just, again, tend to be a naturally optimistic being. So now that Jupiter is going to be in a sign that it really likes, which is in Cancer, again, the more you can feel that sense of inner security and knowing that this life is happening for you, even on the other side of conflict, there can be resolution and there can be a greater expansion for you both, right? This is also if you're willing to deal with your own emotional nature and, more importantly, with other people's more emotional nature, because you're going to really feel the sense of sensitivity as people are focused on their matters of security, home, how they feel secure. This is also related to, I'm seeing too, because you can see here with the ascendant, this is Chiron in Aries, fourth and fifth house. The wounds that we experienced early in our family life can be also shown in how we relate to other people, right? So it's, again, inheritances. What do we inherited from our family that we're actually projecting into our relationships, and how can that transform us? Because I'm also looking at Pluto right now, and that would be transiting your second house during this. So again, it's asking you to allow that natural vibrancy and that buoyancy that you are, Sagittarius, to infect others with your interpersonal relationships, to be your authentic self, and to not take things personally as people are healing from their own family trauma. And maybe if you can look, what's coming in right now, Sag, is if you can look at somebody, especially if they're freaking out or they're having a meltdown, if you can imagine their inner child, right? So how they were as children, showing itself up to be comforted, right? To be made secure. And so this is something that you could be looking at right now, Sagittarius. And I'm going to go ahead and quit screen sharing so I can show you, pull a card for you, Sagittarius. This is again for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, Sagittarius. How is this Cancer and Jupiter going to be affecting you? What energy? I'm pulling from the Shaman's Oracle deck. Okay, hollow bone, teachability, number 28. So this is the number one. If you take the 2 and the 8, it's 10, which breaks it down to 1. Okay, so Sagittarius, you are the teacher. In the cosmology, in the astrology, in the zodiacal wisdom, Jupiter Jupiter, which is your ruling planet, Sagittarius, you are the teacher, right? So it's time also to get structured. You may be asked to step up in your friend group, your relationship group, to teach what you know, right? Come from an authentic space, come from that optimistic realm that you love to live at, because people need that right now. There's ancient wisdom that's being brought through you because of your being willing to explore and to go cross-culturally, trying different foods, different, if you're looking to expand, again, different homes. I'm even seeing some of you maybe teaching from your home. Teaching home matters. I'm even seeing too, because Cancer rules security, maybe teaching yourself how to grow your own garden, right? So anything you learn, when you teach something, you learn it twice. So Sagittarius, you love to explore. Your opposite sign is Gemini, which likes to learn stuff. So after you've learned a bunch, we just had Jupiter and Gemini. So you've learned a lot of data information. How are you going to apply that to wisdom? How can you go and teach what you've just learned over the past 12 months, whatever that may be for you? Right. So this is also emphasizing your ability to share your wisdom, whether it's through teaching. I'm even seeing some of you, again, this might not be for everybody, but I'm online teaching language, something you can do from home because it's Cancer, right? So home-based businesses, home-based matters where you can teach something that you're learning. Again, that eternal optimist. People are going to see you because Jupiter is your planet and it's your good luck planets. The more that you can be seen within your relationships, the more profitable I'm seeing it is. And people are going to be inviting you in your wisdom to come and maybe speak on the things you are interested in, the things that you have picked up on throughout your travels, right? Throughout your exploration of the cosmos. So that's for my Jupiter. That's that Jupiter in Cancer. That's for my Sagittarius folks. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share again. And we're going to move right along to moving to Cancer. Again, this is live. Thank you so much. This is a play I'm playing and exploring here with the astrology. So let's go ahead and change the signs now. We've got Sag on the ascendant here, and all I have to do, guys, is edit this. And again, if you change the ascendant every 2 hours, it's going to change. So now you see that. Here's, again, if you guys are looking or wanting to explore more of the astrology professionally, I use Solar Fire. Sorry, guys, I've been dealing with allergy stuff. So now we have, this is for Capricorn, right? So Capricorn, sun, moon, rising, your Venus. Also, this is for my Capricorn folks. So you can see here, Jupiter is actually going to be in your 6th house of Cancer. So this is health matters. So for my Capricorn folks, you're going to be expanding and knowing how to security. Cancer is about security and our emotional nature. And it's about 6th house is how we take care of ourselves. So you might be really looking to explore better healthcare practices, how to be more secure in your body, right? Because again, Jupiter's expansion, Cancer is about how we feel secure, family matters. And so if you look at your 4th house here, Chiron is happening. I'm seeing again, this might not be for everybody, but this is where you're learning to, again, because it's opposite of you. Cancer is opposite of Capricorn. So this is also balancing your masculine and your feminine, the need to take action, and also the need to receive feminine. Cancer, feminine is more of the yin, right? The receptive energy. And Capricorn and Capricorn actually is also yin. It's receiving. So you're going to be receiving a lot of downloads, and possibly I'm seeing, for again, some might not be for every Capricorn, excuse me, but you might be wanting to consider going on some sort of retreats, right? Some health retreats, expanding your knowledge of how to take care of the body in a new way. Your sense of security is really going to be based on your health matters. If you can feel healthy, right? And maybe where you've been stuck, because Capricorn tends to like things structured. So you might be asked to restructure your health care practices. And again, by learning and expanding and growing with these matters, and I'm seeing it with other people too. And also too, because sometimes Capricorn, this can go either way. Capricorn can be very solitary and reclusive and just want to study these things on their own, or they want to be expanded and maybe, again, go to classes or retreats with other people to learn how to better take care of yourself. This might be the focus for the next 12 months. Restructuring your daily habits. This is 6th house matters. Also restructuring how you are in work and service with other people, right? So that you might even be asking to expand or change your job, your career path, to include something in the healthcare field, and maybe something you can do from home, because Cancer rules the 4th house. Excuse me. And you can see right now in this transit, as Jupiter is just ingressing into Cancer, Venus, our love and money planet's in Taurus, which is also our values, right? So aligning yourself with other people of similar values, who this next 12-month cycle for you, it might be matters of health, your health care journey, not just the physical health, but your mental and your emotional health, especially because Cancer rules our emotional nature. And you're going to probably be really influenced and see how you feel is directly relates to how you take action, right? And what you think about, because Mercury's right there. So this is the conversation of, okay, I just had this thought. I just felt this way in my body. Is it pragmatic? Is it serving me, Capricorn? Is it feeding my soul? Is it giving me structure? Is it giving me power? It's because it's ruled by Saturn, and Saturn wants structure. So you might be asked, 3rd house, to have some more structure on the thoughts. Don't let those negative thoughts linger. Think it and then go ask yourself, is this true? Because you're going to be expanded, and it might be really affecting your health for the next 12 months. So that could be the focus. Again, what you think about, you bring about. Don't repress the emotions, even though that can be opposing. Saturn sometimes just likes to be pragmatic and a realist. But Jupiter is about spirituality and expansion, and Cancer is like, I want to feel it. I got to feel it in my body. I got to feel it to be true. And so again, this might be an exploration for you. Capricorn, maybe not an easy transit, but it's going to be an important transit, especially to put you in your body. Excuse me. All right, sacred pause. Let's quit screen share there. I'm going to pull a card for my Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you guys are still here, thank you so much for being here. This is a Jupiter in Cancer through the houses, through the signs, how it could be affecting you. I'm going to be pulling a card from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck for each sign. Excuse me, guys. This cough, I got to get rid of it. Again, as we're learning to open up our throat chakras and speak more, sometimes there might be some things coming up that, anyway, I don't want to give it too much energy. So this is my Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Ascendant, or Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, rather. Capricorn, what do you need to know for this next 12-month cycle? What could be the theme or added energy that could be supporting you right now during this transit? Okay, Wailing Tree, number 59, reconciliations. It's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so that's a 5. So there's going to be shifts happening right now. If you can see the tree is root. This is also red. I can see here too, there's a face in the middle of the tree. This might be the time for you to reconcile if there's been any kind of dissonance in your family relationships, in your business, in your health. Again, it's because it's affecting your 6th house, which is also your daily routine. This is helping you reconcile if you've had any kind of imbalances with family members, with work relationships, partnerships, with relationship to your body, to your own health, right? Because I'm thinking of the Tarot card is ruled by Capricorn, the Devil card in the Tarot. That's where we bind ourselves. That's where we imprison ourselves because we don't know how to forgive, right? We still have anger. And with the tree, it's roots. So this might be old. And it might be, I'm even hearing too, I'm seeing, my guys are showing me Romeo and Juliet, right? The Montagues and the Capulets, old warring family tribal shit that maybe your ancestors fought over that you inherited. So this might be, not again, not might be for everybody, for those of you that are that this relates to, it's for you. There might be some old family war stuff going on that has nothing to do with you, that you're here to clean up. You're like, you know what? I'm going to clean up this my part of the street here, my family inheritances, because I'm ready to reconcile. I'm ready to reconcile anything I thought, any imbalances. I'm ready to reconcile a different healthcare program routine. I'm ready to feel better. I'm ready to get these structured thoughts out of my head that have kept me bound and imprisoned to these old timelines, these old beliefs, right? Because again, Jupiter rules beliefs. What do you believe to be true? So this is really time to reconcile any differences you might have or have had with any family members, friends, work relationships. This is an evaluation time, right? Where are you ready to reconcile your emotional body? And where have you been holding that in your body? Or where are you ready to heal that? So that's for Capricorn. And if you guys are still here, thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to go ahead and screen share. I'm going back and forth. I'm looking at the ascendant, speaking on it, and then I'm going to pull a card for you guys. So thank you for playing, for being here. All right, let's keep going. We're in flow here. All right. So let's go ahead and change the signs here. Let's get 9, 10, 11. Let's move this up now to Aquarius. So Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. For those of you that, where's Jupiter going to be affecting you? You can see here, 5th house, creativity. So Aquarian folks, this is the time to get really creative. Jupiter's going to be expanding you. It's going to be asking you to share your unique gifts. Aquarius is all about invention, uniqueness. It rules forward thinking, technology, right? So for you Aquarius out there, man, this could be an expansion for you in your creative life force energy. 5th house matters, rules romance, it rules speculative energies. If you're looking to get into maybe the stock market, it's good luck. It's about pleasure as well. I'm thinking they say too with 5th house, it's like going to theme parks and having fun, and right, it's ruled by Leo, the 5th house, the child, which again is also emphasized by creativity. So you're being asked to really bring your unique perspective because also Pluto's right there on your ascendant, and it's going to be affecting your first house. Powerful transformative energies in group dynamics and how you show up in groups, your first individuated self, right? The I am. And the I am in Aquarius is I am what I know. And so this is about speaking your truth and coming from that playful nature in the fifth house, but also Cancer. Again, I'm hearing too, not taking things personally, because, it's interesting. You're going to be expanded with your emotional nature, Aquarius. And Aquarius doesn't necessarily like to be emotional. Most Aquarius can be detached because it's a detached point of view. It's ruled by Uranus, which tends to be like extraterrestrial, out of bounds, out of one of the outer planets that looks at like the higher periphery. I'm thinking of like Google satellite. You can either zoom in really closely or zoom out. But with Jupiter here, it's going to be saying, look, you got to deal with some emotional stuff, and you got to deal with emotional stuff within your family. But the best way to navigate this emotional nature that's being activated for you, or this expansion of your emotional body, is to create with it, right? To do something creative, playful, fun, have fun with the energies. I know things can be dense sometimes, and maybe you don't like to feel things as much because you do like that detachment, like to be in the mind, right? The higher mind. But with Cancer, it's about also being in the higher heart and trusting your gut instincts, because this is also Aquarius, is the I know. So you know things, Aquarius, that maybe other people don't know, and you don't know why you know these things. You just know that you know them. And so this is also too for you to express and to be playful with your knowingness and not attached to who believes you or who can connect. Just let it go. Let your freak flag fly, if you will. Because Jupiter's going to expand you and say, you know what? You're not alone. You've actually got family and friends. Because Aquarius rules friendship groups, right? You could have a lot of playful time with not only your family member, but with friends that you consider family, and even co-collaborative creative experiences with, right? People are going to really connect to you when you're being your authentic self and in your power. So for you, Aquarius, I'm hearing it's okay to stand in your power. It's okay for you to be unique and original and using technology in a new way, maybe sharing your ideas in a new way, in a playful way, because you're really going to be heard. People are going to be seeing you. You're going to be expanded by it. And again, that the emotions that want to come through, don't detach so much away from it. Step into it. Know that you can handle it. It's okay to be emotional sometimes, Aquarius. It's actually that Jupiter's going to benefit you. You actually might be able to tap into some gifts, some creative gifts by tuning into your emotional body and inspiring your friends and family, especially your family. You might be surprised you're no longer the black sheep. I'm hearing for some of you too, you've been speaking about these things for a long time, and it's almost like a redemption quality. It's like, yes, finally my friends and family finally see me. They didn't think I'm crazy anymore because I've been sharing these ideas and these thoughts. So let's go ahead and pull a card for Aquarius, and just an added, again, I'm pulling from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck, just an added card for anybody that's here. Or any now time moment. Aquarius, what do you need to know? Okay, so this is empty the well, time to replenish. The 1 and 6 is 7, so this is the card here. I'm even seeing too, again, spiral, like the Fibonacci spiral. Empty well means you're ready to release old thoughts and habits. I'm even seeing too, anywhere that you were overly detached because you didn't want to feel. It's time to replace your emotional nature. It's time for you to really tune in and tap in, because it's the number 7. It's also Neptune ruled. Step in further into your spiritual practices and empty yourself every day of what you think you know. Because Aquarius rules the I know, right? I know, like I know, like I know. But with all this information coming in and all this new feeling body that's activating you, it's good to really, again, I'm hearing empty your cup every day, have more fun, have more time to play, because you might have been overdoing it, Aquarius. This also could be, I'm hearing the workaholic. And again, this might not be for everybody, but Aquarius likes, it's fixed mind, it's fixed air or wind, which is mind spelled backwards, right? If you look at the language. So anywhere that you need to, that you have felt depleted in your own thoughts, right? I'm hearing like some of you gloom and doom, right? That you're just fixing, this is the way it is. And you maybe even be angry with what's going on in society and communities and group consciousness and group think. You might be ready to release old groups, organizations. You're no longer in alignment with certain energies. And so you want to have more fun. You want to lighten up. You're depleted, right? You're ready to, with Jupiter also expanding you, you're ready to empty your cup to be filled in with new ideas, new play, new things that stimulate you, not only stimulate your mind, but stimulate your heart, right? Stimulate your inner creative child. Could be a lot of healing for you at this time. So allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to replenish. Again, time is emit spelled backwards. And we know Aquarius is all about frequency, right? Sound, vibration, frequency. So this is you shifting your frequency so that you can replace your energy, so you can fill your cup up more and more and more, and do the things you love. This next 12 month cycle, be very diligent on navigating what you think you know, what you know, and what you feel connecting to that gut, mind, heart, right? So it's the trifecta. It's the mind, it's the heart, it's the will. And so allowing yourself to really feel it, because you're going to be replenishing yourself in ways you don't even expect. Good Aquarius. Let yourself be surprised if you can empty what you think you know, right? So this is the transit that wanted to come through Aquarius. So if you guys are still here, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and share screen, and we're going to get to the next sign here. We're just moving right along through the ascendants here. And so we're going to be changing signs here, making it go to Pisces. So how I do is I edit the chart. Again, the time ascendant always changes every 2 hours. So this is 12, 1, 2. So we're going to go 1. We're going to do AM here. So we can go to Pisces. There we go. There's Pisces on the ascendant there. And so for you, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, Pisces, Jupiter is going to be transiting your 4th house. This is 4th house matters. So again, this is root, home, things you learned in early childhood, early education, and or education is 3rd house, but early childhood, family dynamics. Pisces also rules spirituality, but it also rules addictions. Every sign has a positive and a negative aspect. I don't want to say positive and negative. Have a disagreeable or agreeable or disagreeable aspects. And so for Pisces, this is the time for you, because we're so affected by other people with Pisces, especially. Pisces doesn't tend to have boundaries. And with Saturn and Aries right now, it's about learning new boundaries within relationship patterns that possibly you learned in 4th house. So I'm seeing too for you, Pisces, anywhere that your boundaries were impeded on, right? That you didn't have boundaries, that maybe your family didn't know how to have healthy boundaries, that this is going to be brought up for you to look at and expand. Again, Jupiter expands our emotional body. And so Pisces, because you feel everything and everyone, this is an opportunity for you to know, okay, I had maybe inherited these patterns, these addictions. I'm thinking too, for example, like families that have smokers, right? In their household, my mom and dad were smokers. And then you just grew up knowing that, oh, we just smoked, right? That's what we did. And then so you inherited these habits that now that you are where you are, you're like, wait a minute, this habit doesn't serve me anymore. It actually hurts me. And you can see the effects of maybe what it did to your family. So this is also rewriting the addiction codes I'm hearing for Pisces for some of you. With, again, your benefic Jupiter is going to help you see where you've been out of balance, and maybe too, because you don't know how to have boundaries with your emotions, that you want to escape, right? And so and maybe that worked for you in the past because you didn't feel safe to be in your body or here in your family. That was a form of like taken off if you couldn't leave your home, if there was trauma there. This is a way for you to heal all that. Again, using the energy of forgiveness. This is also North Node, what we've come to learn. So you're going to be learning all new practices. Again, I'm even seeing aha moments about family dynamics. You might be learning something about your family that you didn't know about that makes so much sense. Is like, oh, I see why I inherited these thought patterns, these beliefs. Also too with Pisces, religion, right? Spiritual practices that just didn't maybe make sense to you, or that was your foundation when you were younger, but now our beliefs are changing, right? So you might even, for some of you, especially if you got married, right, and you were Catholic, and say you married somebody who's Jewish, right, and you decide to change religions, or just something like that, right, where you're changing belief systems based on foundational root patterns that you learned, and now you're ready to shift and grow from, or just have a different aspect, right, have a different relationship with those family pattern dynamics. Also looking again, the focus could be too on energies of addiction, where you learn that. Even I'm even hearing too, for some of you, it might be even addiction to trauma, or addiction to stress. Anywhere we're addicted, and this is not just Pisces, guys, this is all of us. We all have Pisces somewhere in our chart. But for you Pisces in particular, this is going to be such a revolution as you're starting to again go deep into the emotional body, and knowing what is yours, what is not yours. And Jupiter's going to help you expand boundaries. Again, Saturn's in Aries. It's going to help you expand boundaries that maybe you've never had before, and you didn't know how to express yourself in these realms. Because Pisces is also deeply psychic and deeply intuitive. And so Pisces, you may not have had a voice or language to describe. Your family may have thought you just oversensitive, right? Pisces, from what I've seen in Pisces, they're the ones in a family like, oh, you're too sensitive and you cry a lot. And it's because you're feeling everything, right? And you're feeling things, even things when people are not showing themselves. So again, pulling from the Shaman Stream Oracle deck for Pisces, I'm going to pull for another card of what you need to know, Pisces, for this 12-month cycle with Jupiter in Cancer, and what you could be knowing to support yourself. Okay, Netcaster, preparations come to fruition, number 42. So this is a 6. So you can see even too, this card even looks very Piscean, right? It looks very mystical, dreamy. And Netcaster, I think too, I see like a netting, like the World Wide Web, right? The netting that's even like our neural pathways, how we are all connected, because Pisces comes from the realm that all is connected to everything in this quantum field realm of energy, right? And so what it's saying is preparations come to fruition, that things that you've been preparing for, ideas, I'm even seeing psychic impressions that you've been feeling that you didn't have an explanation for, that might be coming and showing themselves. So you've had these ideas or these precogs of events to come. And now over this 12-month cycle, you might see, I'm even seeing, again, for some of you, you might have dreamt of a home that you want to live in, because it's going to be transiting into your 4th house. So this also might be your dream home, right? I've been fantasizing about my dream home. This is what I really want to experience in this home. This is how I want to live. This is how I want to play. And so you actually might see an expansion in how you live, right? I'm even seeing some of you moving to a bigger home or to your dream home, things that are going to help you, again, feel more safe, more secure. Again, 4 and 2, you add the number together, is 6, which is love. It rules the planet of Venus, and Venus is in Taurus right now. So this is the time for you to really focus in on what you want and how you want your home life to be, right? And to create, I'm even seeing for you too, Pisces, to create a sanctuary space in your home so that you can start making it the daily practice to dream and envision and imagine. Because Saturn and Aries, with Neptune in Aries right next to it, is going to give you foundation and structure to maybe build that fantasy dream home that you've always dreamt about, but you didn't think you could do it, right? Because you were so, Pisces rules also fear, right? So scared of everything. I'm scared to have what I really want. And with Jupiter is going to say, no, actually, it's very healing for you to be able to experience what you really want, but by getting very clear and focused. And again, allow yourself to dream the highest dream of yourself, because there are things coming to fruition that are going to happen in a mystical and magical way, Pisces, that you maybe can't even see yet. But Jupiter, again, our benevolent planet, is coming to say, I got your back. Feel it. I heard feel it to heal it, but also feel it to see it. And for you too, that are in the dream state, feel like it's already there. I am that I am that I am. That's also Pisces or Aries, which Neptune is in Aries, right? So I am that, right? I am healed. I am living in my dream home. I am living the life of my dreams. So this is for Pisces, those that are Pisces ascendant. All right, let's keep going. We're going to screen share now. We're going to keep on traveling through. Next, we're going to be moving into the transit of Aries. So let's take a look and see right here. Again, I'm finding this, guys, by I'm using Astro Gold. I'm going to edit it. I changed the time because the ascendant changes every 2 hours. So I'm looking now here at 3. This is how I'm shifting the ascendant. If you guys are using the program here. Oh, I switched. Hold on. I jumped right to Taurus, but we need to hold on. Sacred pause. Let me slow down. Let me get to maybe 2 a.m. That's how I'm going to shift it. Oh, there's Aries right there. Okay, so Aries on the ascendant. This is for all my Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. For those of you that have Aries, that are Aries sign, Jupiter is going to be transiting or ingressing into your 3rd house. So this is about how we communicate. It's our brothers and sisters. It's everyday language. Again, and I'm also I use periphery. So for those of you guys, it's not going to be exact in the exact houses. It's going to be, I would say, even between 3rd and 4th houses. So again, this is a channeled perspective. And what I'm feeling too, even as I'm speaking, Aries, is there's a lot coming in for you. There's a lot of opportunities. Again, because we have Saturn and Neptune also in your sign, and Neptune rules Pisces, and Pisces is co-ruled by Jupiter. Again, this is how I put all the information together. Jupiter in Cancer it's going to be squaring your energy. So squares are going to involve change, some sort of change within yourself, even how you structure your time. Neptune, your own thoughts, hopes, dreams, and wishes about you, right? How you're perceived, how you want to see yourself. For some of you, I'm even seeing too with Aries and the ascendant, you want to change the way you look, right? Jupiter's like you want to feel really good in your body. So anywhere that you maybe had, I'm seeing too distortion perceptions of when you look in the mirror and you see this distorted image of your body. This might not be for everybody, but this is coming in really strong to be looked at for you. So what I'm hearing is eating disorders, because again, we also have Uranus in Taurus, and we got Venus in Taurus. So Taurus is about matters of how you feel in the body. So this is also a time for you to look to see where there's been any distortions of how you see yourself. First house, the I am, and how you feel about how you look, about feel, again, your thoughts, 3rd house, Gemini, where you've been divided or polarized in your expressions. And I'm also seeing a profound opportunity to shift that, right? To get into the emotional nature, to really do the deep dive. I'm even seeing for some of you, like, I've been thinking about going into therapy, or I've been thinking about starting this workout program. And Mars, that rules Aries, wants action. So it's taking action based on how you feel. Because again, Jupiter is going to be saying to you, I'm expanding for you to feel better in your body. And so you might have to take some actions, do things differently. And I'm also seeing too, like workout routines also with friends, starting some sort of accountability program to get you really where you want to be. Because again, you're having a whole new sense of identity, the I am presence, right? And again, Chiron is there too. There's a lot of opportunity for healing. But with this square, this Jupiter squaring your energy, it's asking for you to expand how you feel and expand. Maybe there was parts you didn't want to feel certain things, right? Again, I'm thinking of this avoidance energy. I don't want to feel that, or I don't think that. And so Aries, though, you're given the courage to face these head-on imbalances, these imbalanced thought forms. Again, things you learn in early education. I'm also seeing for some of you, I'm seeing some things maybe that you heard once when you were a kid between the ages of 0 and 7, and then that got fixed into your system, and that's became the I am, and it was not true, right? So you're willing to clear up these distortions that have maybe affected how you perceive yourself, right? So for Aries, this is such a profound healing opportunity, again, for you to step into your power, to learn to love yourself, and to use that Mars action to take action on your body, to really get into your body. So again, starting out that new workout program so that you can feel secure, so you can feel strong. Again, Cancer likes security, strength. It's cardinal, so it likes to take action. It likes to initiate something. So you're going to be asked to take action and maybe get some therapy on shit you learned in early childhood. This is just coming in really strong. So again, this might not be for everybody, but this is just what wants to be transmitted through this particular channel. So I love you, Aries. And let's see what card can support you. Again, looking at the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck for Aries, as you're learning to accept yourself and discover a new I am presence within you, to really allow yourself to be expanded and to face maybe those childhood wounds or thoughts that you heard in childhood that you took on as truth, that it's not true, that actually it was just maybe somebody having a bad day and then you heard it and it got embedded, and now you've been carrying these wounds for way too long. And it's ready to alchemize that, right? You're ready to alchemize through action. Okay, so the card that comes for you today is 6-4. Excuse me, guys. It's called Wood Wives Adaptability. So here's the card here. Again, you can see that she's in motion. Adaptability, she's adapting to her environment. She's moving. She's going with the flow. 6 + 4 is 1. Again, 1 is also ruled by the sun. So shining a light on where you have had these inner childhood wounds, these thoughts, these ideas that have kept you repressed, that have kept you stagnant. And wood wives, I'm thinking too, wood, going out and grounding. Wives, I'm seeing marrying yourself, right? Being your own divine partner. Aries likes a lot of independence. And again, I'm seeing too, you can see the crown, new thoughts, new ways of moving your body, because movement is, again, adaptation, adapting to the new version of you that wants to come through, that's rooted and grounded in who you are now, not who you were or what you learned in early education or early childhood, because those things are being resolved right now. Those things, I'm even seeing too, doing a meditation for you, particular Aries, sitting with the ancestors. And I'm seeing for some of you, the ancestors apologizing to you. I'm sorry, baby girl or baby boy, that you heard that. I didn't mean that. And I don't need you to be carrying those thoughts, those images of yourself. And I'm even seeing, again, this might not be for everybody, but any parental figure that didn't know how to love themselves and projected on that self-loathing onto you, you can go and clear that up, right? Clear that up for you and for them, so that everybody can love themselves. This is, again, Cancer, generational healing, where we have experienced wounds with the ancestors. And so going out in nature, grounding, moving your body in a different way. I'm even seeing she's reaching for flowers. So maybe working with flower essences. Aries, again, because you're very fiery and temperamental and hot, which is great. So that fire, but it's also asking you to ground and be steadfast. Because again, Saturn's going to be in your sign. So it's asking you to do something structurally that'll help you really feel good in your body. So again, starting that workout routine, doing something active in the body to help you see yourself in a new way. Whatever distortions you've been projecting. Again, this might not be for everybody, but any eating disorders, anywhere that you've been just out of order in yourself, in your consciousness, Jupiter's going to help you come and expand that, healing that. Again, you don't need to carry this anymore. That was really deep, Aries, and I really have a lot of love for you, because it's not an easy journey, especially if you're dealing with something very dense in that matter. So respectfully, I'm going to leave that energy, and we're going to carry on to the next energy. I just really felt that. Again, this might not be for everybody, but for those that are drawn to the channel, sending you so much love and support. Okay. So we're going to be editing the chart now. We're going to, again, changing signs to Taurus energy, calculating it. So we got Taurus now on the ascendant. We're about halfway there. We started off with Scorpio. So thank you guys so much for being here. We're halfway through this Jupiter and Cancer journey and how it can be affecting all the signs. And right now, this is for you, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in Taurus. We can see Jupiter is going to be transiting into your second and third house. Again, second house of values. So, Taurus, you rule the second house natally. And so, what I'm seeing for you, especially, hold on, let me move forward an hour so that you can see. There we go. So you can see, well, do that again. No, let me go back. All right, because Jupiter's always almost going to be ingressing into Cancer, so it's kind of throwing me off. I'm seeing it there, but okay, so we can see that it's going to be transiting again your second house of values and money. So Jupiter is going to be expanding. Again, Jupiter likes to be in Cancer. So Taurus, this could be an opportunity for you to feel financially secure. Not only feel it, but see it show up for you in a benevolent way. So Taurus, you like grounding, you like security, you like to feel that secure vibe. And not only that, you are also a pillar of security to your family and friends, right? I'm thinking of the salt of the earth. All my earth signs are the salt of the earth type of personas, right? The reliability, steadfast. With Taurus, it's fixed earth, right? So really stabilizing your finances is going to be something that you can really connect to by feeling. I'm seeing it too. You got to feel it first before you see it in the physical. So this is also the practice for you because it's going to be sextiling your energy. Again, opportunities for you to expand your financial growth by also you feeling financially abundant before you possibly see it into your account. You got to feel it before you see it. Again, this is also, Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is about belief, right? If you believe it to be true, you believe it enough, then it steps into knowing. Like, I know I am supported by the universe. I know I am supported by Mama Gaia because, Taurus is the earth. And so I'm also seeing for you too, Taurus, to go out and ground, but also allow yourself to explore, to get very visual because, again, salt of the earth signs like to be very grounded, but this is also with Jupiter, it wants you to expand like, if I could live anywhere, if I could pick how I want to feel, let me imagine that. Let me imagine what that would feel like. Let me connect to that feeling of security, of financial abundance before I see it. Because then you're going to be taking action that you're going to ground it in by knowing like and Taurus, I'm also seeing too, anywhere you've been fixed on the opposite, where you've been fixed at thinking, I'm never going to make it, right? I'm always going to be broke. Whatever language you're speaking, again, because Mercury is conjunct. So it's asking you to ask what you're thinking about, you're going to literally bring into physical form. What you think about, you bring about. What you think matters, literally matters into the physical. I'm holding up my kyanite right now. Or, yeah, no, this is not kyanite, the shungite. This is my noble shungite. So pay very close attention to your thoughts. You're focused, again, fixed earth, and taking action on those things that beautify your space, that make you feel beautiful, that make you feel sensual, that put you in your body. Because energy, I'm thinking resources, money, values, that's current. It's just a current in your energy. I think of like different nadis or different meridian points, right? Currents of energy that are moving through you. And just a fun fact, Taurus, you guys are the longest living signs of all the zodiacal signs, right? So you guys have the longevity codes. So on average, you guys are going to be here a long time. You might as well enjoy being here, right? Financially secure with your family. Again, I'm seeing this too. Also, helping your family. There might be, again, some of you might be helping your family learn how to be financially stable because you're doing it by example, right? You're just being I am stable, right? I have everything that I need. These are mantras you might be working with, again, because Taurus rules the throat, your thyroid. It rules all things speech, which is also going to be right next to your third house. So what you speak on. I'm also seeing too, what's coming in, like being a pillar in your community, a financial pillar. So does this mean maybe starting a business or maybe funding or being an investor for somebody else that wants to expand, right? And to feel good. For those, this might not be for everybody, but Taurus rules food and drink and restaurants and hospitality. So those of you been thinking about starting that restaurant business as Taurus, you really love food and drink and you want to expand on in your finances, doing what you really love. So then Jupiter's coming along saying, yes, start that business, start that restaurant, right? If you want to start a vegan food truck, this might not be for everybody, but start it, because Jupiter's going to give you a lot of support against your benefic and your good luck planet. And especially when you're in service to other people, right? Then you're going to be financially rewarded because Jupiter wants to benefit everybody, right? And so there could be financial stability on starting that restaurant. Or Venus also rules essential oils, beauty products, and we're getting more healthy and natural. Uranus is saying in Taurus is like, man, we got to change up how we work with the earth. So going back to our root system, right? Working with organic substances, organic oils, cleaning products, DIY stuff. That's all that's coming in right now too. So I'm going to stop screen sharing here, and we're going to go into a card pool. Again, this is for my Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is some added energy? I'm pulling two guys from the Shaman Stream Oracle deck just for an added message for my beautiful Taurus out there who, what do you need to know in addition to what we just spoke about, Taurus? Lost compass, getting back to integrity. So this is number 8. This is 35. So we can also see too, I'm almost seeing it like a wheel of fortune, if you will, in a way, where in lost compasses, again, are you making money, Taurus, just to make money? Because Taurus tends to attract money pretty easily because it's ruled by Venus. So finances is never, not for everybody, again, depending on where this is aspecting in your chart, but Taurus knows how to attract money, knows how to attract things. But are you really attracting the life of your dreams? This is the 8 too. Are you caught in a loop of, again, fixed earth, fixed habits? Are you just, I'm thinking, again, for some of you that have been maybe working at a job for a long time, that you're now getting bored. You're like, you know what? I like security. I like structure. I like money. And I'm in a job that's paying me good money, right? But it no longer serves me. It no longer, I'm bored, right? And money's not everything. I want to enjoy myself, because Taurus is all about enjoyment, the senses, right? So where have you gotten maybe lost in being too fixed, in being too secure, right? And so Jupiter is saying, hey, if you go and expand and really do what you love and really feel connected to how you serve, then there can be financial abundance for you there as well. Again, Taurus, you know how to attract money. So why not? And you're the longest living sign zodiacally. So you're going to be here the longest on average. Why not be doing what you really, really love? Because guess what? There's still going to be money on the other side of it, right? There's going to be work and dedication, but Taurus doesn't mind working. Again, fixed earth, you like to be steadfast. So anywhere maybe you have lost your way because you're just working for the money, right? This is an invitation for you, for Jupiter saying, yeah, work for the money, but why not really love what you do? And, if you're working at a corporate job and you really want to start that restaurant business, right? Because you love to cook, that's just in your free time, you're constantly in the kitchen, or maybe you're working at a corporate job and you really love working with oils and doing DIY stuff. And people are like, oh, I really love your product. How do you do that? Right? So pay attention to the gifts that people are pointing you to that you may not see, that could point you to new levels of abundance. And again, 8, getting out of that loop of just always having to be secure. You can be secure and do what you love. This is for my Taurus folks right now. So this is, again, getting back to integrity, which means getting integral with what you really want. It's okay to want your hopes, dreams, and wishes. That's why you were given those hopes, dreams, and wishes, right? It's a co-creative, co-collaborative experience with the universe. You wouldn't be given these thoughts and these desires to create unless the universe wanted your participation with it and to be financially secure and abundant with it, right? So that just was coming up from my Taurus folks. Let's go ahead and start. How you guys doing? I'm take a quick pause here for my kombucha. Whew, take a breath. Thank you guys so much for being here. Enjoying this cosmic flow as we're transiting Jupiter and Cancer through the signs and the houses. So let's continue the exploration as we're going into Cancer rising. So let's go ahead and screen share, switch up the energy, switch up the flow. And thank you for your patience, guys, so much. Let's see here. Okay, so we're going to edit. We're going into, again, how I'm doing this. I'm changing it every 2 hours because that's what changes the ascendant. So you can see we're on Taurus. Now we're on Gemini here. Oh, I said Cancer first, but we're sorry, Geminis. I missed you. I didn't mean to miss my Gemini folks. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Gemini. So for you guys, you can see that Jupiter is going to be in your first and second house, right? So first, second house, money matters. First house, how you see yourself. Gemini, you have a dual nature. We all have dual natures, let's be honest. But you really know how to step into your polarity, right? The this or the that, right? I am masculine, I am feminine, I am right, I am wrong. I am I'm black and I'm white. If you're, again, playing with these polarized language, Gemini can really step into that. It's the dual nature of us. And with Cancer, Jupiter in Cancer is going to be expanding how you can love your polarity. How can you really love and value the parts of you that can see division? And how can you unify that division in your heart? How can you share your words, your language, your thoughts to your friends and family? Again, fourth house matters. This is also about, I'm even seeing too, being the bridge. If there is any division within your family, if there's any conflict going on right now within family dynamics, you could be the bridge, Gemini, because you just learned a lot of information. Well, Jupiter was in Gemini here, and now it's going to be going into Cancer in 7 minutes. So, and it's conjunct Mercury, how we think. So you're really having thoughts about family, about what makes you feel secure. You're realizing your polarized self of where maybe you push and pull, where sometimes you get close to people and sometimes you push them away. And did you learn that in early childhood? Were you able to see the light and the dark shadows of people? And then how can you remove judgment? How can you step into, again, being the bridge for if you have any family dynamics, anybody that's bickering in the family, this is going to help you connect to your emotional body, Jupiter expanding you, and help you connect to how you speak to your family, and even speaking a different way about your family childhood dynamics, right? So if you had trauma in the ancestry in the family, you're learning to see it and visualize it. This is also Pisces. Like, oh, okay, so, mom or dad was an alcoholic and they had these different imbalances. And because of that, I had an experience. But with Jupiter's coming in, it's helping you get out so much of the mind and helping you step into your emotions. So you could have intellectualized your healing all you want, but now it's time for you to feel it, right? To really step into deep understanding about maybe some imbalances that you witnessed in childhood with mom or dad or any of your siblings, because also Gemini rules siblings. So if you are in conflict with any of your siblings right now, this might be the opportunity for you to bridge the gap through allowing yourself to feel through your heart, feel the wound, right? If anything was out of balance, or you learned a certain, again, thought pattern that harmed you in a way, you can upgrade the whole experience by how you talk about it, right? And to see your mom and dad, again, seeing their inner child, right? Their wounds of their inner child, and really having compassion and just getting out of the mind so much of intellectualizing. And I'm thinking of those of you that are going to therapy. It's great to have talk therapy, but you got to feel it. Maybe put yourself in the other person's shoes, right? I'm even seeing too, with generational healing for you, Gemini, this might be something to explore, is you can go back and imagine yourself being in the womb of your mother and picking up on the energy that she was thinking about, and how maybe those energies, you picked up on her unconscious or subconscious belief programming in utero even, right? So it's going back, really back to the child, because you can see here, we still got, excuse me, right now with Pisces and Saturn, it's giving you, and it's sextiling your energy. So it's giving you an opportunity, if you're willing to do the work, to restructure your thoughts about family and your own experience with your own inner child. And structure too, I think of the womb, like the stomach, right, is a structure, it's a boundary. So going into the womb and utero of your mom and tuning into what she was thinking about, and then maybe allowing yourself to forgive her or to have compassion for her, and which will therefore shift your whole genetic codex, is what I heard. So Gemini, this is some deep work for you if you're willing to step into it. And again, because it's sextiling your energy with Aries and with Jupiter, not just feel it to heal it, but speak on your wounds in a different way so that you can see the other. Because if you do, you can really be bridging the gap in your family. You can be the mediator at this time, if you will, because you can see both sides, just like Libra, right? The air signs tend to be very mind oriented. So you can recalibrate what you've been thinking about and how you've been experiencing childhood trauma and talk about it in a new way, which could really help a lot of people, right? So that's what wants to come up for my Gemini. And let's pull a card for you, Gemini, to see which energies would best support you, Gemini. This is pulling from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck, and this is an added card just to see, what would you like to experience? What's going to support you, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Here we go. Gathering around the power of community. So this is, you can see here, this is the number 8, 2, and 6. You add the numbers up. So yes, see, you can really be, I'm even seeing too, like a little fairy. You're the bridge that can bridge the gap with family dynamics. If there's been any kind of imbalance, if there's any fighting going on, if there's any kind of, again, going back to root. And for Geminis too, it doesn't have to be necessarily blood related. This is also your neighbors, your friends. Friends are our family, right? So connecting to like-minded, like-hearted folks where you can communicate your truth, that you can witness the polarity of what's happening in front of you and still stay in your heart, right? And share your experiences in a new way, have a new dialogue about your journey in early childhood and maybe express it in a new way. If you're going to therapy, speaking on your experiences in a new way, you can really be the bridge builder for not only your family, but for your groups, right? If you're seeing these sort of familiar or familial type energies playing themselves out in your group dynamics, right? Even in your own people that you deal with every day, because that's Gemini, right? Your neighbors, commerce, people you see every day. If you're seeing any kind of conflicts, or you can see where, everybody's just having a different periphery, right? Because Gemini's like, I can see this point and I can see that point. That's also Libra, but you get to choose how you feel based on what you're thinking about. And then you can bridge the gap and speak in a new way about what you just experienced, and can really help people around you get a new sense of themselves, right? It's about community building for you, Gemini. So that's what's to come through for this Jupiter in Cancer for you over the next 12-month period. So let's go ahead and continue to screen share now. We're going back to the screen. Let me know how you guys are liking this. Again, I'm just playing with the flow. We still have Mars in Leo right now, so I'm just playing with the energies. But let's go ahead and move forward. Let's get to the Cancer on the ascendant and show what that looks like right now. So 6, 7, 8. Let's go there. Here we go, Cancer on the ascendant. All right. So for you, Cancer, Jupiter is going to be in your 1st or your 12th house, depending on which aspect, right? So this is going to be how you're seen. Jupiter is expanding you, right? Cancer is again, it's the first sign of the water configuration, which is about emotions. I do notice too, just to be mindful, because Cancer again likes to feel secure. And I've noticed for me, when I have Jupiter transit my 1st house, I actually gained weight, right? Because Jupiter is expanding and Cancer likes to feel nurtured and supported. So just be mindful. I'm not saying it's going to happen for everybody, but just I've noticed in a Jupiter transit first house, you might have some weight gain because, again, it deals with the stomach. So just be mindful of what you're consuming, not just within your gut and your diet, but also with your mind. Content, because you're going to be expanded, especially you, Cancer. This is also you really showing up for your family, home, house, family matters. You're really going to be stepping into. I'm even seeing too. Um, because Jupiter might be expanding your responsibilities in home matters. So for those of you that have elder care, again, this Aries, Saturn and Aries, you might be asked to step up and to maybe take care of family members, have more responsibilities, if you will, in the family home matters, right? And for some of you, I've been seeing if you like to cook or you like to do DIY stuff, things of the home, and you want to share these ideas, because Aries is in the ninth house of media. So some of you might be wanting to start that channel, that TikTok or YouTube channel, that cooking channel, right? Anywhere that the DIY, anything that has to do with family matters, the home repairs, things of that nature. You might want to share yourself, right? It's just because again, Jupiter is going to be expanding you. And so you're going to really feel the need to feel secure in what? First house, your body. The I am what I feel, because Cancer is all about feeling, right? So this also, if you want to go back and see the Aries talk that we had about Aries rising, this also has to do with how you perceive yourself, because Cancer can be very sensitive. Also, sensitivities that we may have heard in childhood that we took on as our own. So this is being willing to shed or slough off. Maybe I'm hearing too family members' opinions about you, about how they perceived you, if you were considered very sensitive, right, a sensitive child, or even maybe deeply psychic, or like you knew, you didn't know why. Because again, it rules the stomach, which is like the gut, right? So I had a gut feeling about something. So really trust your intuitive nature during this time, Cancer, because Jupiter's in your sign and Jupiter's here to expand everything about you, for better or worse. And again, we all have these polarizing energies within us, the disagreeable and the agreeables, right? So you're being asked to really focus in on yourself, how you nurture yourself. For some of you, I'm even seeing like gut health, maybe working with the gut biome so you can really connect to how you think. Because they say in some instances, the gut is the second brain or the first brain, depending on where you're getting your content from. So the gut really matters. And the gut is what's ruled by Cancer, rules the stomach, right? What we ingest. So making sure that you're looking at your digestive issues, how you handle emotional things that show up for you, right? And really to allow yourself to be seen as that emotional being. And it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to be intuitive and in your body, and maybe a little sensitive, maybe a little crabby. Cancers, about moodiness. So you might find yourself moody over this next 12-month period. Well, probably for your whole life. But when Jupiter comes along to expand you, it's saying, look, we want to expand how you connect to your emotions. And it's okay to be sensitive. And it's okay to share your emotional nature and your nurturing nature, right? Because Cancers are considered like the mothers and fathers of the Zodiac, right? They like to take care of their friends and family group. They really like to, again, I'm even seeing like hospitality, having people come over to their house, having, experiences in their home with friends and family, food, drink. Again, this is very Cancer. Again, nurturing. So also, this might not be for everybody, but I'm also seeing too, for those of you that want to expand your home and maybe do like an Airbnb so that other people can feel nurtured and supported. And because Jupiter wants to expand you, so you might be doing some more traveling. You might want to expand your values, how you, because in second house matters. So allowing people to come into your home and give you money to stay there. Oh, that's just for somebody that's that's watching this. That might be for everybody, but that's just what's coming in for Cancer right now. So let's go to stop screen share here, and let's check out the card for my Cancer friends and family, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Again, you guys are still here. Thank you so much for being here. And so this is for my beautiful Cancer. What do you need to know with this transit of Jupiter and Cancer? right now. Okay, the courage to step into life, 44. So this is, again, this is the crow. It's about messages. And the perfect storm means there's probably going to be shifts and shakeup in your family home, in how you see yourself. 44 is also an 8, so it's also the infinity sign. So it says here the courage to step into life. So Cancer needs to feel secure, right? Before they take action, even though it's a cardinal sign, they want to take action towards their security. So this might be requiring you to face some of the childhood wounds of the I can't, I won't, that crab shell like sticking its little head out. With Jupiter's like, hey, it's time to be seen. It's time for you to share your voice. And so it might feel, again, Uranus is there too. I see this lightning. You could be the igniter for people just by sharing your ideas, just by sharing your emotional nature and your gifts. You actually, I'm seeing this, might be the perfect storm for other people just by being your authentic self and sharing those deep sensitivities that you have, Cancer, that you can shapeshift the people and the friends and family around you. You could be like the messenger, right? Coming from your heart and really stepping into, I'm hearing radical nurturing, right? For self and others. And that may look different than what you thought this life could be. So again, sitting with yourself, sitting with your sensitivities, allowing yourself to really digest life in a new way. I'm even seeing too, taking some gut support health stuff so that you can really work on your own inner, again, how you process life, how you digest things around you, and how you nurture yourself and other people, because you are the messenger. You could be like, and maybe not even saying it out loud too, right? You'd become the change. Like you just decide, I'm going to change my eating habits, my routines. I'm going to change my home. And then others will see that and go, wow, what have you been doing? You look completely different. You have transformed, right? And so there's messages that you're carrying without you having to say anything. You just become the change, right? Because Jupiter's going to expand you anyway. And so again, 44 is the infinite nature of you going into the infinite nature, innate. I'm even seeing for you too, you might have some innate gifts. Uh, Again, DIY stuff that's so natural to you, like you make your own shampoo or you make your own mascara, and people are like, how do you do that? Right? And you're like, oh, it's so natural to me. I know how to do that. It's easy. Right? So again, how you're being perceived is going to be shifting, and it might surprise you and the gifts that come to you. But if you can step into that, again, honoring your sensitivities, honoring your own unique gifts and way you do things that you just thought it was only you doing it, that might inspire and ignite other people and send them messages like, hey, if I can do it, you can do it too, right? So it's being the inspiration during this time. All right, so let's go ahead and screen share. Now we're going into Leo rising. So let's look at our Leo configurations here. And you guys are still here. Thank you so much for being here with me. So again, I'm changing the sign, moving it 2 hours to move it ahead because the ascendant changes every 2 hours. So we can see here the ascendant in Leo. And so where is Jupiter going to be transiting? It's going to be between your 12th and 11th houses. So 11th houses is our friends, groups, organizations. It's also our hopes, dreams, and wishes. So Leo, for you, it's about, because you're the creative, you like to be expressive, you like to be seen. Leo is normally the leader in aspects of their life. They like to be seen, to take charge of things. And you can see right now, we've still got Mars in Leo. And so with Jupiter transiting your 11th house, you might be asked to take the lead in some sort of group, organization, or groups that you're part of by sharing your gifts. Again, Jupiter is going to be expanding. With Cancer, it's going to be expanding hopes, dreams, and wishes. If you can really feel it and then express it as if, right? So it's more than the fake it till you make it. It's the I am a creative genius, and this is how I share my creative gifts. And I'm going to share it within my friendship groups. I'm going to share it with the people I love. I'm going to share it with those that I consider, your vibe attracts your tribe. So those that I consider my family, my friends are my family. and I want to share my gifts with my friends and my family. So, and I want to nurture my communities. So how can you nurture your community, Leo rising or sun, moon, Venus? By being yourself, by being as creative as you possibly can and sharing those creative gifts in an authentic way, because you have a unique and unusual way of shining your light. It's ruled by the sun. And we know the sun is still in Gemini right now. So there's a lot of talking, a lot of thoughts that you're going to be thinking about with, and when Jupiter ingresses into Cancer, which is today in a few minutes here, in 4 minutes exactly, it's still going to be conjuncting Mercury, which is initiating possibly new thoughts about new creative actions that you want to take in service to your friendship groups. So if you're being asked, Leo, to take a leadership role within your communities, within your organizations, this is a big resounding yes, because you're going to be expanded. You're going to connect to feeling secure, might even get a new job, even might even attract in new financial support by shining your light in a new way within these community groups, organizations. So for those of you say that you're starting your own flower garden, right? And you're really good at gardening. And then one of your local community groups shows up and says, hey, can you show us how to do this and build a community garden, right? You're like, sure, no problem. I'll come and teach you what I know, right? I'm thinking I have friends of mine who started they're passionate about mushrooms, right? So they started a mushroom business out on their farm, and now they're sharing their gifts. They're sharing how they cultivate mushrooms, how they're sharing grow kits on how they can grow their own mushrooms, right? And so this is a way for you to inspire others just by you being inspired with your own creative life force energy, and then sharing those gifts with your community. And that can really pour in some financial abundance, because again, Jupiter is your benevolent. And so it can really attract the exact communities, the exact people. Uh, and I'm hearing too for you, Leo, you have these big secret dreams that you didn't think were possible, that you thought, nah, it's too big for me. There's no way, right? Because sometimes Leo can be grandiose. So your ego might be keeping you minimized, saying, oh, I can't do that, or that's too big for me. Actually, it's not too big for you. During this 12-month cycle, especially if you're really stepping into your authentic creativity and you really do what you love, then your groups and people around you will pour into you, right, in ways that you probably can't even imagine yet. So Leo, it's time to shine things that might, again, may be so natural for you that you do anyway and you're passionate about. If you decide to give it some structure, form, right, because this is also Saturn and it's going to be trining your energy, if you can give it some structure and form and consistency, and then share with other people around you, there can be some big financial gains made during this 12-month cycle. Again, following your passion and willing to be the leader, to initiate, to start, because Aries is involved. Aries is the starter, and then Leo, you're fixed, right? You continue what you started. And we did this, Aries energy started back in April. So again, we had a lot of new moon configurations, and there's so many planets that are changing signs right now that are supporting you, because we're coming from primarily water and earth into fire and air, and you're a fire sign. So that has to do with your will, your drive, your courage. And so it's the courage to be your authentic self by shining your light, be creative, and then share your gifts with those that are around you. And I'm going to go ahead and pull a card for you now. My beautiful Leo community, what do you need to know? We're at the hour and 33 mark. Okay, we're going over an hour and a half. I apologize, but we're getting there, guys. I'm just channeling what wants to come through. So for my Leo community. Okay, so cosmic womb, the divine feminine, number 6. So you can see here too, when we talk about the cosmic womb is where we create. And interestingly enough, the solar plexus, which is ruled by the sun, is your ruling planet. So here it is again, stomach, but it's the high stomach. It's the place where we carry our creations. And so Leo, you're all about creativity, and you've got some major creations that are coming through. Again, being able to receive, because feminine is about yin, going in. But what I'm seeing for you with Jupiter, especially Jupiter in Cancer, it's expanding your need to go inward, to really get to your true creative life force energy. because you have a lot of creation. You have a lot. I'm even seeing for some of you might even have some stomach issues that you're dealing with health wise. Again, this might not relate to everybody, but this is also, and for those Leos out there that maybe are watching this and saying, I've heard Leos are creative and they're leaders, but I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I want to create anything. I don't want to feel like I want to lead anything, because there might be some healing. There might be some womb healing that you have to do. There's a meditation. Again, you can go in and do some womb healing where you literally house your creations. There might be some energy leaks there that you might have given your power away, because Leo's all about power. And with Jupiter expanding in Cancer, there might have to be some, again, inner child, early child stuff where you maybe heard, I can't create, I'm not creative, which is going against your nature, right? Because it's the planet is 6. It's the number 6, which rules Venus. You're here to love what you do, and you're here to lead with your heart and to create something from your soul. And so if you're feeling blocked in any way, or there's an impasse, or you feel like something has shifted, the things that you want to create are shifting, then it's time to go in and do the inner work. And I'm even seeing, again, doing some sort of meditation. I saw some of you working with a campfire and maybe holding your womb, working with the fire medicine to really repair, restore, restructure your stomach, which is your will, and the will to do good, the will to be better, the will to share your energy, your creativity. And anywhere that's been blocked, then Jupiter is saying, hey, for the next 12 months, we're going to help you go in and really re-alchemize anywhere that you couldn't hold your creations, because they kept falling through the cracks, right? I'm thinking of like a ship or a boat that's got holes in it, and you're trying to like take off and go out into the ocean and travel and do stuff, but you've got holes in your ship, right? So anywhere you have felt blocked or insecure about your creations, this is an opportunity for you to go in and do some inner child womb healing. Again, Jupiter's expanding your need to feel it. So allow yourself to feel what wants to come up for you, because there's new creations that want to come through you that will benefit everybody. Again, this is going to be going through your 11th house of your friendship groups. So heal yourself, because your community needs you. Your community needs your unique gifts. You are worthy to be seen. It's time for you to be seen in perhaps a new way, and perhaps see yourself in a new way. Okay, so that's wants to come in for my Leo friends and family, my beautiful Leos. So, okay, let's go now and check out. Let's keep traveling, traversing the cosmos. Now we're going to Virgo. So let's edit the chart and go into Virgo. Let's see, 10, 11, 12. All right. Oh, we're going backwards. Wait a minute. What do we do here? Hold on. Edit. This is 12 a.m. Sacred pause. 01. Let's see if it goes back to, oh, we bypassed it. Hold on. Let's get to, hold on. Sacred pause. Thanks, guys. Okay. So we going to go to P as a PM. 12 p.m. Let's see where we're at here. Let's calculate. Let's get, there we go. There's Virgo on the ascendant. It's a little tricky with the time you get into the AM, PM. Okay, so for my Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, Jupiter in Cancer is going to be actually transiting between your 11th and 10th house, primarily your 10th house, which is your career house. So for my Virgos, Virgo, right now we're in the South Node Virgo, which you can see here. This is the symbol for the South Node. Those are gifts that we've already acquired in past lives that you're ready to share here with now the North Node, learning your Pisces nature. And because one of the co-rulers of Jupiter is Neptune, and it's spiritual, this might be for you, some Virgos, redirecting how you serve, because work and service to others, 6th house ruled by Virgo, how you shine your light in your career in service to spirituality, into things that are health, like healthcare practices and related to spirituality. So, for example, what I'm seeing too, if Virgo's out there, say I have a friend that's a nurse, right? And he's been in nursing for a lot of years, and now he's starting to discover that he's probably got some spiritual psychic gifts that he was just so focused on, using his gifts and nursing and how systems work, right? The body and processes. And now he's being guided more into his spiritual practices, right? Remembering that perhaps he's had, shamanistic tendencies, or maybe in past lives he was able not only to be tell people how to help people in the physical, but also in the spiritual realm. So this might be a draw for you guys to integrate. For my Virgos out there, if you already don't have a spiritual career, this you might be leaning towards more of a spiritual based driven career, that it's going to incorporate. It's not going to be either or, it's and more. It's going to incorporate the skill set you had and you have, say, in systems analysis. I'm even seeing for like computer programmers, anywhere that there's, because Virgos likes meticulous, likes perfection, it likes to be organized, it likes to be precise. So anywhere you have cultivated that skill set of precision, and now you want to lend your hand towards your spiritual nature, Jupiter is going to say, yeah, let's do it. Let's help people feel better in your career by getting them in their bodies in a new way, and maybe integrating some spiritual practices while you're doing it, right? Because this is the nodal axis point right now, the nodes of fate. So the nodes of fate might be coming in Virgo and saying, hey, you might be asked to expand your healthcare practices to include meditation or spiritually based systems. And that might be unfamiliar, right? Because sometimes with Virgo, it tends to be very linear, even though it's a feminine sign, which can be very intuitive, but it could be very high, very mind oriented, right? Because it's ruled by Mercury. But with Jupiter and Cancer, it's saying, why don't you connect to your spiritual nature, which affects your physical body, and help yourself, first house, understand how it's all connected, how your spiritual practices and what you believe affects your body. I'm even thinking too of Joe Dispenza. I have a couple of books by him, and one of them is "You Are the Placebo," right? So what you think about, you bring about. If you believe you're healed, then you'll be healed. And it's also not the placebo, which is the positive. It's also the nocebo. So if you don't think it can happen, and if you're too negative or you're too I want to say jaded, but not realistic, skeptical. If you're skeptical about things, a healthy amount of skepticism is good. But with Virgo, can be a little too skeptical. Like, I don't believe nothing about nobody. I know what I know, and I'm going to stick to that, right? You like your own program. But with Pisces as the North Node, which is opposing you, and with Jupiter coming into, see, 30, yeah, sextiling you, this is an opportunity to be expanded by allowing yourself to feel that there are new ways to be in the body, that it's not just about what you think you know, that there are other ways to be in this world, but you've got to allow yourself to explore. You've got to allow yourself to see beyond just the physical, what's tactile, right? Again, using your spiritual, we're here to learn spirit. So reconnecting to your spiritual gifts, and it may not even be in this lifetime, right? That you might be connecting to your own spiritual shaman or your own spiritual teacher that you've done in the past. Because again, Saturn rules past lives, and it's in Aries right now. And so you might be activated in first house. You might be activated to remembering you also have deeply spiritual shamanistic gifts that will complement what you know in the healthcare field, right? What you know about the body, what you know about the mind. It's an integrative approach, right? So that's what I'm seeing from my Virgos. And we're going to stop screen sharing, and we're going to pull a card from my Virgo friends and family to see, what do you need to know? What added support do my Virgos need to know during this transit of Jupiter into Cancer, and how you can be best supported during this next 12-month cycle. And for you, it's okay. Winter's dream, gestation period, 63. So I'm seeing for you too, this is also a 9. You might be completing this might not be for every Virgo, but for those that are watching, this might be completing a karmic cycle of maybe where you've been unhealthy in the body, where you have been sick. And this is called the gestation period. So there might be, with Jupiter in Cancer, instead of going to the external realms, right? This might be the year of this next 12-month cycle to go in and do the inner healing work and really connect to those aspects of your spiritual nature that you might have put to the side because it wasn't allowed, or you didn't allow yourself to connect to your, again, your spiritual shamanistic values, right? So there might be some imbalances and it's been a health journey for you, Virgos. And now you're learning to incorporate, okay, I need to learn to meditate. I need to learn to manage my mind. I need to learn to because it's a different form of concentration, right? So maybe where you've been concentrating on work and service to others, very Virgo, sixth house, now this might be the time to take that, how you've been helping other people, and really apply that to you, right? To your own nature. And again, gestation, I'm seeing like a 9 month, it's the 9. So gestation, technically it's 40 weeks, right? That a baby is gestated, right? 42 weeks. And so you might be giving birth to yourself. This is a gestation period. So, and again, this might not be for everybody, but some Virgos, this might be the need to go in and do the inner work, right? The yin, because you're rebirthing yourself. You're rebirthing how you see your body. You're becoming the placebo instead of the nocebo, right? Believing that you can so that you can feel it. We're also in a 9-year. So this is also completing cycles of maybe you're done feeling like shit. You're done of whatever cycle loop that you're in to do with the body and your health. You're ready to transform that. So allow yourself time and space to go in and do the inner healing work, even if this means some sort of, again, psychological work, going to retreats, allowing yourself to meet with other communities. I see the Fibonacci. So this is not the first time you've done this, Virgo. I feel like you know how to do this. You just got to give yourself time and space to connect to that inner knowing through your spiritual practices. North Node Pisces. Come to learn these things, to remember what you already know, because that can really help support you during this time, during this cycle. Jupiter's going to come in and giving you a big cosmic hug, right? Because you've been going through a lot of dense stuff, and you've been helping so many other people, right? Virgo is just in this, wants to help, but you also need to receive in the same manner that you give. So allow yourself to receive that health, those spiritual knowings as you push those out into your community and give them, to other people. Give it to yourself. And so this might be an inward expression for you, Virgo, for the next 12 months. And then just share your gifts as you learn it, right? But do the work internally first, and then project that healing frequency out. But it's an exploration. Again, it's not the destination, it's the journey. So it's the journey towards connecting to your spiritual nature and then sharing that. Okay, so let's keep going now. We're going to be moving into our final sign here. Excuse me. We're going to be moving into Libra because we started off with Scorpio and going into the Libra chart here. So let's see. Let's go to 2 p.m. And there we go, Libra on the ascendant. So for my Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Venus, Jupiter is going to be transiting your 9th house, which is beliefs. And you can see here that 9th house is also media. It's ruled by Sagittarius, and Jupiter likes to be at home in the 9th house. So, and in Cancer, it's actually going to be squaring your energy. Yeah, 30, 60, 90. Yeah, it's going to be squaring your energy. So you're going to really feel, Libra, where have you been out of balance with your beliefs and your thoughts? And perhaps I'm even seeing too, education systems, education style even. So are you being dissolved? Are things dissolving for you? Where have you been out of balance in your belief systems and what your partnerships, relationships, because Libra is all about partnerships. So where have you been out of balance and maybe needing to be more emotional? Because, Libra can be very mind oriented, just like with Aquarius and Gemini. It's all mind stuff, right? It rules the air, the mind. So with Jupiter going into Cancer, it's going to, again, maybe put you in touch with your emotional nature, which is not very comfortable, Libra, because they like to intellectualize all kinds of stuff and intellectualize relationship dynamics. But from this transit, your belief systems are shifting, and what you're believing to be true is based on your feeling. And if you're just in the mind, this also might be connecting you to your body in a new way. So it's asking you to regulate and balance out your emotional nature with the mind, and to maybe see your relationships in a new way. Again, belief. What do you believe to be true about your community groups, about who you interact with every day? Did you hold certain beliefs about this is how, I'm even thinking too with going into the Aubrey Marcus thing. I don't want to give him too much attention, but there's a lot of people that are being triggered by his belief in monogamy and polyamory, right? So what do you believe to be true about relationships? And are those beliefs shifting? So perhaps maybe you've been in a monogamous relationship and you're like, well, maybe polyamory might be something I want to consider, right? I want to feel my way into it. Or vice versa, if you've been in polyamory for a while and you're like, I want to go back to just being, Libras 2 balance. I just want to go back to being in a monogamous partnership, right? So again, beliefs about partnerships, relationships are coming up. I'm even seeing too, because the ninth house is also can go into the 10th house here, because I see it going back and forth. Relationship dynamics at work. What has not been working in the workforce in relation to your interpersonal relationships? I'm even saying maybe because it's a square energy, and ninth house is the law. Your inner authority has been conflicting or maybe out of balance with, say your employer. Again, this might not be for everybody, but this is what's coming in for Libra. So can you see the other in a new way? Are you willing to question your own beliefs about relationships, about relationship dynamics, and being really honest by feeling your way into it? Like, maybe monogamy isn't for you. Maybe you want to explore polyamory, or maybe you want to explore celibacy, right? Depending on where you want to connect to your relationship dynamics. Ninth house is about belief. And if you want to change your experience within your interpersonal relationships, it's all tied into what you believe and what you believe about the other. And it also rules judgment. So this is also being able to see where you maybe been holding some really fierce judgments about yourself, first off, first house, and then the other projecting that out to other people. So this, it might connect you to, again, feeling. Jupiter's going to say, hey, you've been thinking a certain way and it's making you feel like shit in your body, or it's making you maybe, because Libra likes to also people please, and Libra is all about trying to keep the peace no matter what. But with Jupiter going into Cancer, it's like, but you got to deal with your emotional nature, and that might again conflict you with other people that don't have those same values or those same beliefs. As you're learning to believe something new within yourself, you might be seeing a discontinuation of certain patterns of relationships, even endings of relationships, right, that no longer coincide with what you value and again what you believe to be true about your interpersonal relationships. So this 12-month cycle with you guys, with Libra, relationships are going to be the focus, even more so because it's in Cancer. It's family dynamics and family relationships. So again, it goes into value. What did you learn? I'm even seeing too interpersonal relationships, like you watch mom and dad and how they related in their marriage. How did you bring those relationship codes now to your own marriage or your own interpersonal relationships, and were they dysfunctional? Were they out of balance? Um, you're starting to ask these questions and go deeper. So with Jupiter and Cancer, it's about going deep. It's about seeing where you've been out of balance with yourself, with other people, and it's really allowing you to feel and navigate and expand by not being so much in the mind, Libra, but getting into your feeling body. And why that's not comfortable, it's necessary. Again, if it's a square happening, something needs to shift. And it's got to probably shift with how you thinking about it, how you're believing things to be true. And so let's go ahead and pull a card for my Libra brothers and sisters, friends and family who might be experiencing. Okay, that came out really quickly. This is Dream Thief, Refusal of the Call, number 13, which goes down to a 4. So Dream Thief, I'm seeing too, what I've read about this in the Shaman's Dream card, this is where there's an energy that might be stealing your dreams and visions of the future, again, based on your belief. And I'm even seeing too, this almost looks like it's an owl, but it's got an interesting, intense face and it's got claws. Where have you been fixed in your belief about relationship patterns? And where are you refusing to step into another version of yourself, another higher octave, more balanced version of you? And that's going to require you doing the inner work of going into the root of perhaps childhood wounds and has kept you in a certain periphery of thinking, right? So maybe Libra, in other words, again, I keep going back to the polyamory monogamy, where you saw mom and dad maybe in a poly or a monogamous relationship, but then they cheated on each other, right? And you're like, what the fuck? So, and where that belief, that imbalance is stealing what you really want, right? It's in other words, it's taking from you the relationship of your dreams, because subconsciously you're going through relationship healing dynamics that you learned in early childhood from family, that you're like, I don't want that. I don't want to be in that toxic relationship. So where have you also refused to be in relationship because you're scared about emulating these toxic behaviors? So this is also a good time with Jupiter and Cancer, again, going to the feeling state, going inwards, a good time for therapy. And maybe not, I know Libra likes to talk a lot because, again, it's an air sign, but you got to feel it too. So maybe talk to your friends and family, talk to a therapist about these things, but then allow yourself to go in and feel it and to do the inner work. I'm thinking, even thinking like constellation, right? To maybe you could pretend you're sitting in front of your mom and dad and really speaking your truth about what you've always wanted to say about your own relationship with them, but you never felt safe enough to say it, right? So you can even look in the mirror and pretend you're talking to your mom. There's all kinds of therapies out there that you can do that will create balance, because there's new dreams and visions that want to come through you, but you got to believe that you can experience it and allow yourself to step into the new version of yourself, because your thoughts, how you believe things to be true, is keeping you fixed. It's keeping you, I'm seeing, in bondage and within your relationships, right? So either you're stuck in a toxic pattern relationship with the person you're in a relationship with, for those that are in relationship, or if you're single and looking for relationship, where do your beliefs about relationship keeping relationships from you, right? And maybe there's a fear there because you don't want to pass on what you learned from mom and dad, right? But you can change it. You can shift it by doing the inner healing work and allow yourself to feel it. And again, using the medicine of forgiveness, Libra, is going to bring you back in balance, because this next 12 months, again, going inward, doing the inner work, is going to bring a lot of value. And with Saturn and Aries, that's actually going to be giving a harmonious energy to you, the quincunx. So it's going to invite you into get some structure and learn healthy boundaries, because Libras tends to, again, people please, because they just want peace at any cost. And sometimes the cost was your own boundary, was your own, this is not for me, but because I want to keep peaceful, I'm going to go ahead and do this or allow this. And that's not the time for this, Libra. This is also part of that early childhood wounding that can be brought up to be felt and looked at. And then again, new beliefs can be formed about relationships, especially for Libras. Okay. I feel complete in this transmission. I just want to first of all say thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to go ahead and this is live that is being presented now, but I'm going to timestamp it. And you can watch this whenever, all the month, all the year of 2025 into 2026, because this is a 12-month transit with Jupiter and Cancer. And I really appreciate the time that you spent watching this and connecting to the channel. If you found any value, I would invite you to please share, subscribe, like. It's free for you to just click that little like button. It really just adds to the algorithm and gets the channel in movement, which is one of my hopes and dreams and wishes as a Sagittarius rising myself, is I really looking to expand my community by connecting with others who really want to learn the language and speak the language of astrology. And again, this channel comes from a little bit of a different periphery than most astrologers. We come from the maxim that all is self. And so there's nothing outside of you that's happening that's not directly connected to what's happening inside. And so again, if you found any value, I really am so grateful for your shares. And you being here, just your presence as we're building a community of like-minded, like-hearted folks who love astrology and just want to explore maybe a different take on astrology. So thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I love you. And yeah, happy journeying through this Jupiter and Cancer, man. It's going to be a wild ride. And I hope this serves you. And again, connect to me if you want any of the free ebooks, free offerings, Livzenastrology at Gmail, or just check out any of the socials for more astrology content. All right, guys, I love you.